Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and despite it being a quiet week for Celtic in terms of news and updates, we have a few things today to end the working week to go over, so strap yourselves in. We've got an update on Adam Idah, an update on Roco and a few other wee bits of housekeeping to go over. So join me, stay seated, and let's talk about that. If you haven't already, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. It would be much appreciated as we try and get towards 50,000 subscribers this year. Thank you for bearing with me in this week of nothingness. The live streams have been great. The support has been great. So it's always appreciated when you stick by me in the quiet times. At least we've got stuff to talk about today. I'm looking forward to this one. Let's get into it, shall we? So we have a bit of an update on Adam Idah and his status as a Norwich City player at this moment in time. It might not be the update you're looking for or hoping for, but nonetheless, it's all we have to work off right now. It's been a quiet couple of weeks in regards to Adam Idah's future. We've been waiting to hear if we're any further forward with an attempt to make him a permanent Celtic player. Alas, here we are, nowhere near the destination that we want to be. And the new Norwich City boss has spoken on Adam's future and what he intends to do with him should he remain a Norwich City player. So we should probably have a look at that. Does this damage Celtic's chances of landing Adam Idah on a permanent deal? Who knows? It's very early days. And after all, it is the manager's first interview with the club. So let's go over it, shall we? So in case you're unaware, Norwich have appointed a new manager. Johannes Hoff Torup has been appointed the permanent boss of Norwich City. He takes over the reins at the club, which means it's new leadership, it's a new era. They once more will try and push for a Premier League place this season. They have a tough season coming up in the Championship where they need all the quality they can get, and after Adam Idah's great 6 months with Celtic, or 5 months with Celtic I should say, they definitely will have plans for him. I imagine they probably want to keep him around. The question is, will they be able to, tempt him with a stay if Celtic come in with money for both the club and Adam Idah himself? The manager spoke in his first interview with the club this morning, and this is what he had to say. He says that Adam Idah is an exciting player, and he's from here. He's been in the club for so many years. He can do dangerous stuff up front. He's fast, he moves, he gets into those areas in the box where, he decides games. So definitely I will have a look at him. I think otherwise it would be stupid. So the new boss, Torup, however it's pronounced, has confirmed that he will have an extensive look at Adam Idah, maybe determine if he wants to keep him in his plans or not. Of course, this is going to make life a bit more difficult for Celtic if the manager and the club don't want to part with the player. However, what I will say is, if you're reading this interview this morning, or if you've watched this interview this morning, don't get your knickers in a twist just yet. So, I don't think this means too much. I think it definitely has an impact and an effect on Celtic's chase for Adam Idah. Definitely. There's no denying that, because the new manager may want to keep him around. But at the end of the day, it's not as if this new manager's going to sit down in his first interview with the club and come out and say, I don't want Adam Idah, he's useless. It wouldn't be the best way to introduce yourself as the new coach of the football club. You want to start off on the right terms, you want to build the best relationships, and whether that's with players who are remaining or leaving the club, you want to set yourself off in the right manner. And of course he's going to speak highly of a player who's just came up to Scotland and had a great campaign. He came in and he's been one of the deciding factors in a league title chase. He scored the winning goal in a Scottish Cup final. That's going to catch eyes, and if the new manager of Norwich has been keeping tabs on that, then obviously he's got to be impressed from what he's seen. I don't think you need to read into these comments all that much, but there is no denying it will maybe add a bit more demand to what Celtic are expected to give Norwich City. I think this might ramp up the money. I think that it will make the parting process a little bit more difficult for Norwich. I think they'd understand the quality of player they're about to give up now that they've seen it. So I don't think it's the end of the world. It just begs the question, what are they actually going to look for? every time I do a live stream and every time I post a video, one of the top comments is always, have you got an update on Adam Idah? What I will say after this is, you're going to have to be patient. This isn't something that's going to be done quickly now. I think negotiations could be tedious for Celtic. And don't get me wrong, if Norwich City expect too much of Celtic and there is other options elsewhere for better prices, I could see Celtic moving on to other options. They're not going to lie on their back for Norwich and give them what they want. That's not how the club operate. And Norwich have made it clear, I think their higher-ups have made it clear that they will need to source money to kind of enhance their team this summer. One of the ways they could source that money is by selling Adam Idah. It just begs the question of how much are they going to want at this point. If they try and get Celtic to pay 8, 9, 10 million pounds, I don't know if the club will do that. I just don't. But there's nothing being said yet on the price. We can only speculate that right now. But all I can say is you will need to have patience. This Adam Idah transfer could be long and drawn out. There's potential this could go on to deep into the transfer window. So just remain patient. Norwich will assess their options. They might consider playing him this season. It's going to be a waiting game. It's as simple as that. So in terms of players coming into Celtic, we don't have much this week. Even here now on Friday, there isn't a lot out there. But in terms of transfers out, we've had a couple of updates on players, including an update from the man himself, Fabrizio Romano, on a current Celtic player. This was one of his tweets earlier on today, not too long ago before I started recording, surrounding the future of the young Roco Vata. Fabrizio Romano has said that Watford have opened talks to sign forward Roco Vata. He's also received a new contract proposal from Celtic, but no deal is in place yet. Talks are still on. Bologna, Como and Nottingham Forest have already had proposals rejected for Vata. So he's rejected a few of these clubs who have already come in for him, including Bologna, who are, of course, in European football, done very, very well over the past campaign and have nurtured the talent of another young Scotsman in Lewis Ferguson. He's rejected Nottingham Forest, who are, of course, in the Premier League. So the question is, will he sign this Celtic extension? Will he stay with the club? I think it all depends on what we offer him, what the package is in terms of his development, not just money. Is he going to be playing football? Because ultimately, I feel like a guy at his age, the most important thing to be doing is playing football. So we don't know what's going to quite happen yet. Watford have opened talks with him. Celtic are still in contract negotiations. We last heard that a deal was rejected from Celtic as well. Celtic's last offer for Roco Vata was rejected, if stories are to be believed. So doesn't seem like Roco Vata knows his future yet, let alone anybody else. So he could be leaving the club soon. Keep an eye out on that one. But that's the first Fabrizio Romano Celtic update of the summer. A story about Lis Palma popped up as well over the past couple of days. One that I was completely unaware of. I don't know if it was brought up out of thin air, but Lis Palma himself was quizzed on his Celtic future after apparent reports suggested that he was unsettled and wanted to leave the club. But the player himself has retaliated to these rumours. And he spoke in an interview saying that it's the first time he's heard any of that. He has no idea where it came from. He's only been a Celtic player for a year. I have 4 years left on my contract. I'm focusing on the new season and getting back to the level I was when I first arrived. It won't take much to get me back to that. So, once again, no idea where these rumours came from. Didn't hear them myself until this interview emerged with Lis Palma, but he's made it perfectly clear he has no intentions of leaving Celtic. He intends on getting back to the best level he can be, the level that he showed in his first few games as a Celtic player. I hope he can achieve that, because I think there is a talent in there. I think there is a good player that inconsistencies have kind of hampered. So if he can get back to a consistently good level, we've certainly got somebody of use there. But yeah, totally rubbishing the question asked about his unsettled time at Celtic. Don't know where that came from, but I choose to believe the man himself. Finally for today, we touched on this last night in the live stream. The transfer of O to Genk has taken a little bit longer than expected after Celtic rejected the first bid from Genk. It's been reported that Genk have come in with a new and improved offer. We did talk about this in the live stream last night, but outlet HLN in Belgium have said that Genk have come back in with a second offer with more money for the South Korean striker. So we'll see if this one gets accepted by the club, but I think we might be seeing the departure of O very, very soon. If you want more on that or more of my opinion, as always, go and check the live stream from last night. It was a good stream. Spoke a lot about the O situation and maybe why this deal is taking so long. But aye, there you go. So that does it for today. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to hit like and subscribe. You're all caught up on the very minimal chat surrounding Celtic right now. Trust me, I've spoke to other people who run podcasts and all the rest of it, and they're having the same issues. Not an awful lot to talk about right now, so hopefully next week, I hope, I'll be back on the channel either tomorrow or Sunday, depending what happens. So until then, take care, enjoy your weekend, God bless, and I'll see you all next time.